All right, let's get into it. Today, we are breaking down one of the most legendary, most electrifying jutsu in all of Naruto, Sasuke Uchiha's Chidori. We're going to cover everything from its kind of shaky beginnings all the way to its god-tier final forms. This is every major version Sasuke ever got his hands on.
But hold on, before we jump into all of Sasuke's crazy innovations, we gotta go back to square one. Yeah, the Chidori is basically his signature move, but he didn't invent it. So where in the world did the famous thousand birds actually come from?
Okay, so check this out. The creator of the Chidori was none other than the copy ninja himself, Kakashi Hatake. And the wild part, it was basically an accident, a failure. He was trying to add his lightning nature to the Rasengan, but he just couldn't do it. So instead, he ended up with this brand new and seriously dangerous jutsu. So what exactly is it? At its core, the Chidori is an A-rank jutsu made for one thing: assassination. You focus a ridiculous amount of lightning chakra into your hand, so much that it literally sounds like 1,000 birds chirping. But here's the key. To make it work, you have to charge at your opponent with incredible speed to land that piercing blow.
Now, you've probably also heard of the Raikiri, right? It's really important to know the difference. Chidori is the base form, the A-rank jutsu that Sasuke masters. Raikiri, or lightning cutter, is Kakashi's personal, more powerful S-rank upgrade. We're focusing on Sasuke's journey today, but it's good to remember that there's a level even beyond the original.
So why was it called an incomplete jutsu? This is super important. It had two massive flaws. First, when you charge forward that fast, you get insane tunnel vision, leaving you completely exposed to a counterattack. In fact, Minato, the fourth Hokage, straight up told Kakashi not to use it because it was so risky. And second, it burns a ton of chakra. Back in part 1, Sasuke could only pull it off 2, maybe 3 times before he was totally spent.
And that brings us to Sasuke's first big upgrade. After he leaves the Hidden Leaf and starts tapping into Orochimaru's power, his Chidori starts to change. It gets a whole lot darker.
This version is sometimes called the Flapping Chidori. Now, powered by the Cursed Seal, it's definitely stronger than his old Chidori, but still not quite at Raikiri's level. And the details here are just so cool. The sound isn't chirping anymore, it's the intense sound of wings flapping, and the lightning itself turns this sinister black color the more he leans into the curse mark's power.
All right, after the time skip, this is where we see Sasuke's real genius come out to play. He's not just trying to make a stronger punch anymore. No, he's manipulating the very shape of his Chidori, turning one jutsu into a whole deadly arsenal. First up is one of his most creative and versatile moves, a technique that completely flipped the script on how he used the Chidori. I'm talking about the Chidori stream.
This move is just brilliant. Instead of focusing the chakra in his hand, he lets it explode from his entire body. This isn't just for show, it was a huge strategic shift. Suddenly, he could hit multiple enemies at once without doing that risky forward charge. And even better, the electricity messes with the enemy's nervous system, paralyzing them on the spot. It's the perfect setup for a finishing blow.
But he wasn't done. Next, Sasuke did something amazing. He combined his signature jutsu with his signature weapon, the Sword of Kusanagi. And the result is a nearly unstoppable blade. By flowing the Chidori's current through his sword, it becomes sharp enough to slice right through solid steel. And just like the stream, getting hit with it means instant paralysis. Think about that. The only person who ever managed to block it was Killer Bee, and he had to use his own lightning-charged blade to even stand a chance. Okay, now for a variation that is, I think, seriously underrated. This one really shows off Sasuke's insane precision and chakra control. It's a work of art. This is the Chidori Senbon. Sasuke molds the lightning chakra into tiny, sharp needles, Senbon, and then fires them off like projectiles. But here's the genius part. He combines this with his Sharingan's ability to see and predict movement, letting him nail an opponent's vital points with pinpoint accuracy. It's an incredibly surgical and deadly technique. This next one is just pure lethal offense. We see him use this in some of his most brutal fights, like when he went up against Itachi and Danzo. This move means business. Say hello to the Chidori Sharp Spear. Sasuke transforms his Chidori into a flexible lightning spear that can shoot out 5 meters long, perfect for a surprise attack from a distance. But the truly vicious part is that after it hits, it can branch out into more blades inside the target's body, shredding multiple organs at once. It is an absolutely brutal assassination move. And now, we've reached the summit. After Sasuke gets a power-up from Hagoromo himself, the Sage of Six Paths, his Chidori evolves into something we've never seen before. We're talking truly god-tier stuff now.
Let's just let that sink in for a second. Guys like Madara, who had the Ten Tails power, were basically immune to normal ninjutsu. It just didn't work on them. But Sasuke's new Chidori, infused with Six Paths chakra, it was a whole different story. It could cut right through that immunity and actually hurt them.
This is the Six Paths Chidori, also called the Onyx Chidori. You can see it's black again, but this time it's not powered by a curse mark, it's powered by the Sage of Six Paths. And what makes it absolutely insane is that Sasuke can combine it with his Amaterasu, creating a blaze-release Chidori that's just on another level of destructive power.
And if you want to see what that power looks like, here it is. This is the Chidori that Sasuke used in his final epic battle with Naruto. When this thing clashed with Naruto's Six Paths Rasengan, the explosion didn't just blow their arms off, it completely vaporized the giant statues of Hashirama and Madara, changing the landscape of the Valley of the End forever.
And finally, what happens when you combine Sasuke's ultimate defense with his ultimate offense? Well, you get the Susanoo Chidori. Sasuke literally channels that god-level lightning through his perfect Susanoo, creating a single strike with just an unbelievable amount of destructive power. It's epic.
So when you really step back and look at the whole picture, it's incredible. Sasuke took one single, flawed jutsu from his teacher and, through pure skill and battle-hardened genius, turned it into an entire system of attack and defense.
So let's just recap his journey real quick. He started by just adding raw power with the Black Chidori. Then, he became a strategist, mastering area control with the stream and the katana. Then, he became a deadly assassin with the sharp spear. And finally, he pushed it to a divine level of power capable of literally changing the world.
It's just an amazing evolution, from a flawed tool to a world-ending force of nature. So I want to leave you with this question. After seeing all of these, which Chidori variation do you think is the most underrated? Let me know what you think down below. Thanks for tuning in.